especially to me and Minister Made and Engineer Mzamindo, because this gift marks a shift, I think, in the manner which government perceives assistance coming through to the Tokwe Mkosi disaster victims, or now beneficiaries of a much more acceptable land resettlement program. Only just a week ago, I accompanied the Vice President, myself and other ministers, to the area Chingwizi, and basically our assessment of the situation there was based on 5 factors. Dam safety, I think, which has now been secured, the rescue operation, which is a continuous exercise, but largely under control now, the relocation to Chingwizi, which is taking place thanks to the goodwill and gratitude of all those that have laid at our disposal trucks, helicopters, and other conveyancing equipment to move the people to Chingwizi. And fourthly, the resettlement of the people that have been relocated to Chingwizi itself, which in itself was the subject of discussion, I think, when we took the Vice President down, to say that, do we want to temporarily set up these people in pole and dug houses? Do we want to put at their disposal axes where they begin to cut trees and deforest, where in fact we should be immediately settling them in permanent homes and associated infrastructure like schools, and halls and other things. And I think the agreement, as Minister Made has alluded to, was that we should immediately settle them permanently to the maximum extent possible, as far as is practically possible. But it can only happen when the masonry staff is in place, and that's your cement. I'm sure we'll be looking very soon at timber, stone, quarry, and other things to make sure that the buildings really take off. I think the most urgent need there, what we observed when we were down there with the Vice President, Acting President today, was the need to put up storage facilities that can store the inventory that is being donated through the goodwill of Zimbabweans and the international community, so that we have a logistic management system there that can store goods. As you can see, the response from the nation and elsewhere has been very overwhelming. And I think storage, logistical management, loss control management becomes important features. But even more important than that is the need to make sure that school children are able to proceed without disturbance and go into classrooms. And I hope that this modest gesture can really answer that call that we established when we were down there with the Vice President. But more importantly also, as we later on observed, was the need to rehabilitate infrastructure in adjoining areas to Tokwe Mkosi water basin. And Minister accompanying us today here is actually the ZANU-PF Masvingo Province Secretary for Transport and Social Welfare, who had actually come to make a direct appeal to Minister Chombo to say that districts are now disconnected because of the collapse of bridges and roads in the adjoining constituencies of Masvingo Central, South, and Shiri South. And therefore, there's need also for some rehabilitation work almost immediately, which may need cement and other stuff. But today's business is basically to say to Lafarge, thank you very much for being the responsible corporate citizen that you have been today, and we look forward to more engagement with yourselves. I asked them last week, Mr. Made, to actually go down on the ground and make physical assessment of needs, which may actually turn into business for themselves, as we conceptualize the various models that we are anticipating as resettlement models for Chingwizi. Without further ado, let me thank you once again, Minister, for coming through to officiate, and you, sons and daughters of Zimbabwe, for coming to witness this event, which I think has gone on very well. Thank you, Lafarge. I thank you.